You ever get hit with silence so loud it makes your chest tight? You send that message. Nothing. You check if it delivered. It did. You scroll up, reread what you wrote. Maybe you said too much, maybe too little. Then you see her story pop up. She's online, laughing, living, and not replying. That moment right there. That's when your mind starts spinning. What did I do wrong? Was I too available? You start pulling apart every convo like it's evidence in a trial. Here's what we need to face. This stuff hits deep, and no one wants to say it, but it does. Being ignored messes with your confidence. It puts you in your head, makes you feel like you're not enough, but we're not doing that anymore. This isn't a sad story. This is the moment everything flips. Because while most guys panic, second guess, or chase, you're going to level up. You're not here to win her back. You're here to take your power back. There's something real humiliating about being the only one showing effort. But that's where your strength starts. When you stop reacting, when you stop reaching, that's the moment the game changes. Quick story. One guy I knew kept chasing this girl for weeks. She'd read his messages and leave him on scene. He'd still reply, still check in, still hope. Until one day he got sick of the pattern. He stopped, focused on himself, went quiet. 2 weeks later, she's the one reaching out. Too late. He was already past it. That's how fast things shift when you stop chasing and start choosing yourself. So here's what we're doing in this video. We're showing you exactly how to handle it when she ignores you. Not with bitterness, not with games, but with real control. And if you're tired of being the one left on red, hit the like button right now. Subscribe, stay locked in. We're just getting started. She's ignoring you, so what? That silence? Yeah, it hits. It doesn't matter how confident you are. When you send a message and get nothing back, it stings. You check your phone, then check again. You tell yourself she's probably busy, then you see she's posting stories, laughing, out, online. Just not talking to you. That's the part that gets under your skin. It feels personal, like a shot to your ego. But here's what most men don't get. It's not about you. Not even a little. Her ignoring you isn't a deep sign. It's not some coded message you need to figure out. It's noise. And reacting to it is the biggest mistake you can make. Let's be honest. You've probably been there before. You thought things were going well. Maybe you were texting. Maybe you even met up once. Then suddenly she goes cold. And it's always the same questions in your head. Was I too forward? Should I have waited longer? Did I mess up the vibe? But that whole cycle, it's a trap. That's exactly where you lose control. You make it about her. You make her silence into something that defines you. Here's the truth. It's a test. Whether she knows it or not, she's watching how you react. Most guys fail hard. They chase. They triple text. They start apologizing for stuff that didn't even happen. All because they want that reply. But what they don't see is this. Every message you send when she's ignoring you, every, hey, just checking in, every desperate move, it tells her exactly where you stand. She doesn't even need to read the message. She already knows. Now, we're not saying you're weak, but chasing someone who's clearly not showing interest? That's not power. That's insecurity. That's fear talking. You're afraid of losing her, afraid of not being chosen, and you don't even realize it's you handing her the power. Let us give you an example. A guy we know, let's call him Malik. He was talking to this girl who suddenly started taking forever to reply. Sometimes a full day, sometimes not at all. He kept the conversation going anyway, kept showing interest. Even joked about how slow she was to respond. She laughed, but it didn't change a thing. She kept pulling back. You know what shifted everything? When he stopped replying. No drama, no shade, just silence. He focused on his life, hit the gym, started seeing other people. 2 weeks later, she messaged him like nothing happened, and that's the part that matters. Not because she texted back, but because he didn't need it anymore. He stopped waiting. He stopped depending on her attention to feel good about himself. That's power. You don't win this by talking more. You win it by needing less, not pretending to need less, actually not needing it. And yes, there's a big difference. Let's keep it real. If she's ignoring you, you already have your answer, and you trying to fix it only makes it worse. It confirms everything she needs to know, that she can pull away and you'll still show up. So what do? You might stop looking at her silence like it's your problem. It's not. It's an opportunity, a chance to hold the line, to show you're not the type who gets thrown off by a text. That's what she's watching. That's what makes you stand out. Another guy we worked with was stuck in this same cycle. He'd get ghosted, and every time he'd start spiraling, overthinking, rethinking old messages, asking for advice. But the moment he shifted his mindset, just one shift where he told himself, her silence has nothing to do with me, everything changed. He got his peace back. That alone made him more confident. That alone brought better people into his life. He stopped reacting. He started choosing. So if you're watching this and she's ignoring you, good. Let her. That silence is the perfect filter. It reveals who's really down for you and who just wanted your attention. You don't need to chase clarity. Her silence is clarity, and now it's on you to respond with strength, not noise. If you're feeling this, hit the like button right now. Drop a comment if you've ever dealt with this exact situation. And if you're ready to stop reacting and start leading, subscribe to the channel. We're just getting warmed up. Silence is your move now. The biggest trap you can fall into is thinking silence means you have to act, that it's your job to break the tension, that if you just send one more message, maybe this time she'll respond. You've probably done that before. Sent that follow-up text, checked if she saw it, maybe even posted something emotional, hoping she'd notice, hoping she'd care. That's not strength, that's noise. That's you giving your energy away to someone who's already told you without saying a word that she's not matching it. So here's the move now. You say nothing, no texts, no checking in, no reaction. Your silence isn't empty, it's calculated. It's not about being cold, it's about being in control. Because when you stay silent with purpose, you don't just stop the conversation, you shift the entire dynamic. The point isn't to play games. The point is to stop playing at all. Right now, she expects something from you. She expects a reaction. Most guys give it to her. They double text. They explain themselves. They try to win her attention back. But you're not most guys. You let her feel your absence. Not in a passive-aggressive way, not in a bitter way, just by not being there. That's the power move. You're not ignoring her out of spite. You're not waiting on her either. You're choosing yourself. Here's a real example. There's a guy we worked with. He was always the nice one, always available, the kind who answered every text in under 10 seconds. Then she stopped replying. He panicked, of course, sent a couple of follow-ups, got nothing. But this time, instead of spiraling, he pulled all the way back, stopped texting, went radio silent, focused on his business, started working out. A week later, he's on a different wavelength. She finally texts him back, and guess what? He didn't even feel like responding. That's the kind of shift we're talking about. It's not about punishing her. It's about building you up to a point where her attention doesn't hold weight anymore. Every second you don't text back, you're regaining power. You're reminding yourself that you're not defined by who hits you up or leaves you hanging. Your value isn't measured in replies. It's measured in how little you need them. So don't scroll through her stories. Don't reread the chat. Don't wonder what she's thinking. That's not your lane anymore. Your lane is purpose. Your lane is progress. Your lane is silence that speaks louder than any message. Now here's where it gets real. Silence makes people uncomfortable. You'll feel that itch to reach out. You'll feel that urge to just say something. That's the test. That's the exact moment where you either fall back into the old cycle or rise into something new. Silence, when used right, makes her question everything. It makes her wonder what happened, why you're not chasing, if you've moved on, and she might reach out. But whether she does or doesn't, you've already won, because your peace doesn't depend on her reply anymore. There's another story that hits this perfectly. One guy, after getting ghosted, didn't say a word. He disappeared. No texts, no likes, nothing. 2 months later, she randomly hits him up, trying to spark a convo like nothing happened. But by then, he was in a new place, new energy. She was still playing the old game. He had already walked off the field. That's what we want for you. Not to fake indifference, to genuinely not need a response, to not flinch when the silence drags on, because silence isn't weakness. It's a weapon when you use it right, and most men never do. They break, they talk, they beg. You won't. So, from now on, let your silence speak for you. Let it say, I'm not here to entertain games. Let it say, I've got better things to do. Let it say, you lost access. And if this message hits you right where it should, tap the like button right now, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and make sure you subscribe, because we're not done yet. We're building a version of you that doesn't chase. He leads. Keep going. Shift the focus back to you. Here's what most men miss completely. When she ignores you, it's not the end, it's a start. That silence, that's your green light. That's your signal to wake up and lock in, not on her, on you. This is where we flip everything. No more chasing, no more checking your phone every few minutes like she's the center of your world. She's not. And the second you treat her like she is, you've already lost yourself. So stop. What you do now matters more than anything she could say. Because every minute you spend wondering where she went is a minute you're not building. You've got goals, dreams, things to build, things to fix, places to be. So act like it. This silence, it's not rejection, it's freedom. It's time you get to spend on you. You don't use it to feel sorry for yourself. You use it to level up in every way possible. She paused the convo. Good. That gives you space to take back control. Let's get specific. You start with your body. Hit the gym like you're training for war, not to get her back. To become the man who never needs to chase again. Upgrade your style. Dress like you respect yourself, not like you're hoping for attention. Clean your space, clean your thoughts, get your routine locked. Start working like someone who's got something to prove, to himself, not to her. There's a guy we coached once. He got ghosted right after a great date. She just stopped texting. Gone. At first he took it hard, lost focus, fell off his routine. But after we spoke, he flipped the switch. Used her silence like fuel. In 2 months, he had changed his body, launched the business idea he'd been sitting on, and started talking to better women. When she came back around, he wasn't rude. He just didn't have time. That's what growth looks like. You know what makes that kind of progress possible? Redirecting all the energy you were giving her and turning it inwards. Think about it. Every text, every mental replay, every second you gave her, multiply that by days or weeks. Now ask yourself, what would your life look like if that same energy was put into building something for yourself? That's how you stop being a man who reacts and start being one who creates. You don't just stay busy, you rebuild. You put yourself in a position where you don't need a reply to feel good. You already feel good because you're locked in. Because you're building. Because you're becoming a man she won't even recognize anymore. And no, this isn't about making her regret it. That's too small, too petty. This is about turning the page completely. You're not upgrading for revenge. You're upgrading because you finally remembered who you are. Here's the second story. One of our guys got left on red after 3 months of dating out of nowhere. She stopped texting. Instead of chasing her, he joined a fight gym, started training 5 days a week, started meal prepping. In less than 90 days, he looked like a different person. More than that, he felt like a different person. He didn't just level up physically, he started walking different, talking different. You could see it in how he moved. That's what happens when you stop reacting to her absence and start investing in your presence. Because truth is, she was never the prize. You just forgot that. Now, while she's busy curating posts and hoping someone notices, you're building the kind of life that doesn't revolve around anyone else's validation. That's what we mean by focus, not fake confidence, not pretending, real work, real structure, real self-respect. So the next time she shows up, it won't matter because you're not the same man she left on red. And she's not even the same woman you wanted back then. You've outgrown that version of you, and her too. If this is clicking for you, if you feel that shift starting inside you right now, hit that like button, drop a comment, tell us what you're building, subscribe to the channel and keep going with us. Because from this point on, the only focus is you. No begging, no waiting, just building. Let's keep moving. Most guys hear reverse psychology and instantly think of tricks, acting like they don't care when they actually do. Playing cold to spark interest. That's not what we're talking about here. This isn't some cheap dating hack. What we're doing is simpler, stronger. We're teaching you how to stop reacting. That's it. No fake cold shoulder, no little mind games. Just control, and control hits harder than any tactic ever could. She pulls away. She stops replying. You don't try to fix it. You don't ask what happened. You don't try to win her back. You move forward like nothing ever stopped you. That shift right there, that's where the real reversal begins. Because she expected you to chase. She expected a reaction. When she ghosted, she was waiting to see how fast you'd crack. That's how most men move, chasing a girl who just left them hanging. But when you don't react at all, when your energy stays solid, she doesn't know what to do with that. Silence makes noise when it comes from someone who's usually present. Here's where it gets interesting. One guy in our group had been seeing this woman for a few months. Everything seemed smooth until suddenly she stopped texting. No warning, just air. And instead of chasing her or trying to figure it out, he went quiet, kept going, posted a picture out with friends just once, not to get attention, just living his life. She saw it, obviously, and within days she was in his messages again. No explanation, just casual, like nothing happened. You know what he said? Cool. That was it. One word. Calm. Clean. Unbothered. No breakdown. No bringing up the silence. No power handed over. And that's exactly how you flip the dynamic without ever needing to play games. Because here's what happens when you stop reacting. They get confused. They start wondering if they ever mattered. They question whether you've already replaced them. And if that starts to happen, that's not on you, that's on them. You're not ignoring her to hurt her. You're not doing it to prove anything. You're just done performing. You're not showing interest where it's not returned. That's not ego. That's discipline. That's self-respect. Another guy we spoke with used to spiral every time he got ghosted. Always sent long messages. Always tried to explain himself. But the moment he stopped explaining anything at all, just cut the energy off and moved forward, something wild happened. The same girls who ignored him were watching his stories, liking old posts, trying to start a conversation again. He didn't bite, and that's when you could see the power shift in real time. Not because he was mean, because he finally learned to hold his energy. This is how it works. You don't win by proving your worth. You win by not needing to, and when they come back, and they often do, you don't meet them with emotion. You don't dig up the past. You say, hey, like it's any other day, like nothing happened, because to you it really didn't. You moved on. That was the move. That was the power play. You didn't ghost to punish. You disappeared because your time mattered more than waiting around for someone who clearly didn't value it. This approach, when done right, is not about making her regret it. It's about building such a solid version of yourself that her absence doesn't affect your path at all. And if that makes her question herself, so be it. That's not your responsibility anymore. If you're watching this and thinking, man, I've been over-explaining, over-texting, overreacting, stop, pull it back. Let the silence do the heavy lifting. Let your energy go where it's appreciated. That's when things change, and when they do. You don't need to celebrate. You don't need to post about it. You just keep walking. If this hit you hard, like it should have, then take 2 seconds right now, like this video. Drop a comment if you've ever seen the power shift like this in your own life. And make sure you're subscribed, because what's coming next will lock this mindset in permanently. We're not done. We're just getting deeper. Stay with us. Master your emotions. Don't lose them. This is the part that breaks most men, not the silence, not the rejection. It's the emotions that come with it. The stuff that hits when no one's watching. The frustration, the anger, that creeping doubt that maybe you weren't enough. And instead of holding the line, they let it all out. On her, on social media, on themselves. They fold, and it's not because they're weak, it's because no one taught them how to hold the pressure, how to feel everything and still not react. But that's what separates you from the rest. That right there is the difference between chasing and choosing. You don't lose your mind because someone didn't text you back. You don't snap because your ego took a hit. You breathe, you process, you stay composed. That's power. Not because you're suppressing anything, but because you're in full command of your response. There's a guy we worked with, super confident on the surface. Great job, well-spoken, everything in place. He started talking to this girl, thought it was going somewhere, and then she ghosted him after a weekend. Trip, no warning. She just stopped replying. He lost it. Started venting on social, messaged her paragraphs, got blocked. The guy went from composed to chaotic in 2 days, not because of her, because he never built that emotional armor. Now here's the flip side. Another guy in our crew, same thing, got ghosted, same silence. But he stayed cool, didn't react, didn't post, didn't text. He sat with it, felt it, but didn't let it control him. He went harder on his workouts, booked a trip, put in extra hours at work. 2 weeks later, she popped up again like nothing happened. He read the message and moved on. No clapback, no flex, just calm distance. That's emotional control, because here's what no one tells you. Women can feel when you're off, even through a screen, even when you say nothing. That needy energy, it shows. That panic behind your "what's up" text, it leaks through. The second you lose control, they feel it. And it kills the vibe instantly. You want to be different? You want to stand out? Then you stay grounded. You become the guy who's calm when everyone else is panicking. You don't beg. You don't explode. You don't even flinch. She ignores you? Fine. You're still showing up. For yourself. For your goals. For your peace. That's what makes you untouchable. Because emotional control isn't about faking it. It's about not needing anyone else's reaction to keep you stable. You've got to train that mindset like a muscle. It takes practice. It takes moments of silence, frustration, rejection, and learning to sit with all of it without snapping. You learn to keep your composure when your pride is screaming. And the more you do it, the more powerful you get. Not louder, just heavier, more solid. And the funny thing? That's what really makes you attractive. Not the clothes, not the car, not even the muscles. It's that grounded energy, that calm confidence. It draws people in. Because in a world full of men chasing, explaining, defending, you're just good, unbothered, unshaken, focused. If you're serious about this growth, this is your test. Not the silence, not the delay in the text. The test is you, your reactions, your ability to stay still when your emotions want to run wild. So next time you feel the urge to text out of frustration or prove something, stop, wait, let it pass. Then ask yourself, would the man I'm becoming do this? If the answer is no, you already know the move. And if you're feeling this message, if it's hitting you right where it needs to, hit that like button right now. Drop a comment about a time you had to hold the line. Share this with someone who's been going through it. And subscribe. Because you're not here to fall apart. You're here to rise, and we're not done. Not even close. Detach completely. This is the point where most guys still have a little hope tucked away. They do the work. They stay silent. They focus on themselves. But deep down, they're still watching their phone. Still wondering, is she gonna text? And when she finally does, they act like they've won. Like everything they did was to get this moment. That's not detachment. That's delayed chasing. And it ruins everything. You win when her message means nothing. When it doesn't shake your mood, doesn't interrupt your day, doesn't bring you back into the emotional roller coaster you already stepped off. She replies, cool. You don't get loud about it. You don't jump back into old habits. You keep moving, same pace, same calm. She doesn't reply. Still cool, because you're not stuck in limbo anymore. You're building something real. You've replaced waiting with work. You've replaced needing her attention with needing your own discipline. And that's where the game ends. See, detachment isn't about pretending. It's not you acting unbothered while secretly checking her stories. It's about getting to the point where none of it holds weight anymore. She texts, or she doesn't. Your path doesn't change. This mindset, it's rare. And when someone feels it from you, they don't forget it. There was this one guy who went through a rough ghosting, weeks of silence. She finally reached out. And what did he do? Nothing dramatic. He read it, replied with something chill, and moved on. No spark. No finally. No energy shift. Why? Because he didn't need anything from her anymore. That's what you want. That stillness, that control, that freedom. Because here's the truth. People chase what doesn't chase them. That's not a tactic. That's nature. When you're out there doing your thing, when your attention isn't easy to get, it hits different. She can't help but wonder where you went, what you're up to, if she still has a place in your world. But now you're not building a world that needs her. You're building one that includes only what adds value. That's the core of stoicism. You don't base your peace on what someone else does. You protect it. You own it. You stop living like someone owes you closure or energy or time. Because the second you stop needing anything outside of yourself, you're unstoppable. One guy told us this story. He was in a situationship for months, always waiting for her to decide, always hoping she'd choose him fully. When he finally detached, everything flipped. Not because he played a game, but because he accepted it for what it was. He let go, started dating with clarity, started making real moves. She came back, but he was already gone. Mentally, emotionally. That kind of peace can't be faked. You either have it or you don't. And when you do, your whole energy changes. You're not reactive. You're not bitter. You're just focused, light, And that's what gets respect. From women, from men, from life. So now we're here. You've done the inner work. You've stopped reacting. You've held the silence. And now, the final step is full detachment. That's where your real strength shows. Not because you don't care, but because you've chosen to put your energy where it actually builds something. Let her wonder. Let her feel the shift. That's not revenge. That's reality. You're not the man she ghosted anymore. If this one hit you deep, pause for a second and drop a comment. Let us know how you're taking your power back. Like the video if you're locked into this journey. And subscribe if you haven't already. Because we're not teaching shortcuts here. We're building something real. You feel that? That's you pulling away from needing anything. And that's where freedom starts. Let's be clear. Most men crumble when they're ignored. They let silence turn into self-doubt. They chase, explain, beg for closure. They think her attention is proof of their worth. But you, not anymore. You've seen what happens when you stop reacting, when you hold your energy, when you shift your focus back to yourself. That changes everything, not just how she sees you, but how you see yourself. This whole thing wasn't about winning someone back. It was about stopping the pattern where you keep losing you. Because that's what silence can steal if you let it. Your focus, your self-respect, your direction. And we're not letting that happen again. You're not waiting anymore, not on a reply, not on her interest. You've got better things to build, better energy to protect, better people to attract. This right here is the new version of you. The one who doesn't move based on how someone else feels. The one who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't flinch. It's the version of you that shows up for you. And when you hold that energy, everything shifts. One guy who followed this mindset messaged us later, said he went from checking his phone every hour to forgetting she even existed, not out of hate, just peace. That kind of growth, that's real. That's what we want for you. So if something in this hit you, don't let it fade. Like the video right now. Drop a comment and let us know where you are in this journey. And subscribe. Because we're not here to play the game. We're here to end it. Start now. Start for you. And this time, don't stop.